Do you ever feel like a loser? Don't lie to me, bro. Do you ever feel like you're not good enough? Well, today I'm here to tell you that you are 100% right. And it's not for the reasons you might think. You're not a loser because society or the people around you view you as a loser. You're not a loser because you're not good at the things you do or you're less than other people. You are a loser because you yourself view yourself as a loser. I used to know this guy and I would probably say he was probably the biggest loser I've ever met in my entire life. And like I said, it wasn't because me or the people around him thought he was, and it wasn't because he wasn't good at the things he did, because he was actually really talented. He was a loser because he thought he was the biggest loser on planet Earth. He would always put himself down. He would always compare himself to other people and look for what he was missing. He would be scared to try things because he thought he was gonna fuck up. He thought people are watching, and then when he would try things and fuck up, he would just dwell on it forever. He just had no self-confidence whatsoever. But the main problem was, instead of trying to fix any of these negative traits he had, and trust me, he knew he had these traits because he'd point them out all the time, he would just accept that this is the way he was and that he was gonna stay this way forever. And me and his other friends would try to tell him, bro. We try to convince him it's not true. We try to get him to like look at himself differently. But when you're that deep in a hole, no matter how many hands are reaching down, if you're not reaching back up and trying to get out, you're gonna stay in that fucking hole, bro. He was stuck in what I like to call the loser mindset. If all you ever do is treat yourself a type of way, you're gonna feel that type of way. If you always treat yourself like shit, you're gonna feel like shit. If you always treat yourself good, you're gonna feel pretty good. And if you always treat yourself like a loser, you're gonna constantly feel like a loser. But how do you define what a loser even is? Google says a person that loses or has lost something, especially a game or a contest. And I'll tell you what you lost, bro, your self-confidence, your self-esteem. You lost faith in yourself. But that's okay, because everybody's gonna feel like a loser at some point in their life. Sometimes it'll last a day, sometimes it'll last a few weeks, sometimes it'll last a few months. And unfortunately, some people it'll last their entire lives. I was feeling like a loser the last few months because some shit happened, but you know, as long as you're trying to get out of that mindset, everything's gonna be okay. I always like to say that step one into fixing any type of problem is to identify the problem. How you gonna fix something if you don't know it's broken, bro? So let's break down what makes up the loser mindset. And I'm gonna say it's these 5 loser traits. 1, do you constantly talk negative to yourself? Do you constantly put yourself down every chance you get? Every time, even if it's just a butt of a joke, you always gotta put yourself down. 2, do you constantly compare yourself to other people? Do you always look at other people and look at what they have better than you and how you're less than them? 3, do you have a fear of failure? Are you scared of trying things because, oh, what if I fail? What if I mess up? What if people are watching me fail? 4, do you dwell on your past mistakes? Every time you fuck up in life, do you beat yourself up about it for weeks on end? Do you not let it go? Are you ever scared of doing the things because you know you fucked up and you're scared that you're gonna repeat it? You'd be like, oh, I'm so stupid because one time I was sitting in a chair in college and then I was leaning back, but I didn't realize how far I was leaning back. So then the chair fell and I fell in front of everybody in the entire class because I was sitting in the front of the class and everybody started laughing for like 2 minutes and nobody tried to help me up. And then the teacher told me to leave the class, and then every time I would come back to class after that, the teacher would make me stand because she didn't trust me in the chair. Yeah, I guess I haven't let that one go. That got too personal. 5, do you lack self-confidence? Do you feel like you have no confidence in yourself to get things done, or no confidence in yourself to be the person you want to be and be a successful person? So now that we've broken down the loser traits of the loser mindset, you know, tell yourself, be honest with yourself. Do you do any of these things? I know everybody does at least one of these things at one point or another. Like, you can't act like you've never done any of these things, but do you constantly do all these things on a regular basis? So now that we've identified you got a problem, you know, we're halfway there. You identified the problem, step 2 is fixing it. You gotta fix that shit. If you leave it unfixed, it's just gonna get worse and worse, and over time you're just gonna feel like more and more shit. And I feel like once you know you got a problem, you know you haven't fixed it, it's just gonna make you feel even more like shit because you just know that you're not fixing it. So how do we break out of the loser mindset? So first step is to be more self-aware. If you see that you're constantly doing all those traits, every time you do one of them, try to call yourself out and be like, yo, wait, I'm doing that. Yo, wait, I'm doing that. Yo, wait, I'm doing that. This way it becomes less of like a mindless act that you constantly do and more like something like, yo, wait, I see that I'm doing that. Let me try my best to stick away from that. Let me try to not think that type of way, because once you start seeing the problem, you're gonna try to step away from it. Number 2 is challenge your own thoughts. If you see that you're constantly calling yourself a loser, be like, no, bro, I'm not a loser. And then point out the good things about yourself. Don't just let yourself point out the negatives all the time, because you're gonna feel negative all the time. Point out the positives, argue with yourself if you have to, bro. Like, don't let yourself convince yourself you're a loser. You're not. If you see you're constantly calling yourself a failure, tell yourself, I'm not a failure, bro. Look, I do this, 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 and this. How am I a failure when I got all this? How am I a failure when I do all this? How am I a loser when I do all this? Step 3, celebrate your success. In life, you're gonna fail 10 times more than you actually succeed, and that's just how it is. That's a big lesson I've picked up this year. And that's why it's important when we do actually take a W, we gotta celebrate. We gotta actually point that out. We can't just take a W and be like, okay, back to the L's. You know what I mean? When you take a W, be like, yo, wait, hold up. I just took a dub, good for me. Let me feel good about it for a sec. Don't take a dub and be like, oh, back to work, back to the failures, because you're gonna constantly feel like shit. No, learn from your losses, and when you take a win, celebrate it. Number 4, surround yourself with positivity. Like I said, if you're always treating yourself or surrounded by negativity, you're gonna feel negative. So surround yourself with positivity and positive people, because if you're always surrounded by it, your body's gonna eventually pick up on it and wanna feel that type of way too. But don't only just surround yourself with people that are positive, you know, treat yourself positively. Do things good for yourself. Take care of yourself. You know, when you go to the bathroom, actually take care of yourself. Don't be taking a 1-minute shower acting like that's self-care, bro. Like, actually clean yourself. You're gonna feel good. Actually shave. You're gonna feel good. Actually, like, get haircuts. Treat yourself good. Eat good, because these are things that are gonna make you feel good in turn. And number 5, learn from your failures, guys. Like I said, you're gonna fail way more than you succeed. And if you let every single one of those failures get to you, you're gonna always feel like shit, because you're gonna fail almost every single day of your life. But when you take those wins, I'm telling you, it's gonna feel good. And as long as you're learning from those failures, they're not even failures. They're just lessons. So that's how we break out of the loser mindset, guys. Identify the things and just slowly make your way into fixing them. I know it's not easy. Sometimes you're gonna be feeling like this for so long that it's gonna be a long process getting out of it. And sometimes you can't fight it. You're gonna feel like a loser for a day when you fuck up, and you just gotta remind yourself, that's not true, and it's only if you believe it that it's true. Being a loser is a mindset. It's not a thing that you actually are. It's not a thing that you're born as. So as long as you could change your mindset, you can be whatever the fuck you want, bro. And just remember, you're not alone. Everybody deals with it on a constant basis. So if you talk to somebody about it, someone's bound to understand you, because everybody deals with that at some point or another. So hopefully this video helped you out, guys. My name is Max. If you liked it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'd love to hear your comments and feedback on it, so stay tuned. I got way more shit coming out, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Wake up out the dust, time to get this money. So many pitfalls in my life, that shit ain't even funny. Them rainy nights had them days looking mad sunny. My clothes nice, remember when them shits was mad.